I just did the TikTok, so I'm gonna, it will be like I'll start talking and then I'll be switching from topics because I'll go in to start my regular one, but then it'll be like, wow, this one's only a couple minutes. I should just stop and go to the next thing. So, but then when I do it, it gets me really confused. Like, did I already say this? Did I already say that? But some of the stuff that I saw this morning, like I saw this really cool thing where this guy has this little, they're like little clips or something, and like little pads, and you can put them on different plants and stuff, and it goes to this, like a speaker or something, and it translates the vibration of the plant into music. It is the coolest freaking thing. I don't know, it's some sort of crazy gimmick, but I mean, I know everything is around us that's alive. So I know that they really are, like, putting out sounds. I'd seen another study, and it was talking about, they were trying to monitor plants with some kind of thing with the vibration frequency. It was this was just a guy doing this. I don't know, I didn't watch all his stuff. I don't know who he is or anything. This other one was a study, like was a scientist, and was done, and it was all these different people involved, and it's a long study. You can look up about it. And it was showing about how the plants will scream, and they know what's about to happen. Like the plants will start screaming and putting out this vibration. When you listen, theirs was on a machine that was showing too, like the vibration would go real crazy, and they could get this sound, and it sounded like screaming. And so the plant would know. The other plants I hear where I have these plants, like one of the plants is really struggling. There's a couple that are really struggling, and I think it's the poisons in the water because I give them the rainwater. And then plus the darkness, it's so dark. And it's just a heavy energy. So, but like if you take all of the plants, and like this one that's over here struggling, well, the other ones are communicating with it. But if I went up and I just, tore it apart, they would already know that I was going to go do that. They start reacting to what's about to happen before it happens. Like, it's fascinating. So they would start reacting before it even happened. And they will react to other things in nature. Like this guy in his study, I don't remember all of the different things. He said it started really just feeling really bad, and I can't remember. So, that's why I can't remember facts like that. But you can go look it up if you find it interesting. But there was something, and I can't remember if it seems like it was insects that he would kill, and the plants would start reacting, like screaming out before he did. And he said it started, there was so much reaction and stuff. And this is where we're not tuned into this, see? Because we're all focused on what they tell us to focus on. They tell us to focus on this stuff to keep us distracted so that we will continue to enslave, work our lives away, these short lives, because they poison the fuck out of us. So, we'll just dedicate our whole lives to getting them richer. So we don't pay any attention to the real existence around us. And so many people just focus on what they hate. They don't even think about like focusing on what they love. And, everybody's mind's just all jacked up with all of this interference that they are doing to your consciousness. But your consciousness is definitely screaming out to you. Your soul is screaming out to you like, something's wrong, something's wrong. And a lot of people know something's wrong, but they just can't figure out what's wrong, there's something crazy. Well, for those of us who go and really look into information, then we can see that it is what is exactly wrong. And earlier on my TikTok, I had mentioned about the Alice in Wonderland thing. And that is, I'm going to have to do another one, but that is one of the things I have found also fascinating too, is because, that they could go in and they can listen to the plants. They had the whole white rabbit and what it represents. We know about that. We know about the, the rabbit holes, all of the different, it's like the tentacles of the beast, and every rabbit hole is looking down and finding the tentacle of the beast. It's everywhere. It's like all around you. And then you go down the rabbit holes and you find it, and you find how it all links back to this beast. But that Alice going down the rabbit hole, I think, because where I keep seeing it referenced is about going into the other realms. It's what CERN is trying to do right now, going into this underworld or whatever. They're trying to create this portal. And they're doing it right now. I mean, so it could also, oh my gosh. You know, and there's so many people who talk about CERN and being the cause of the Mandela effects, which all of a sudden just made me remember a Mandela effect I saw this morning. And that is so crazy. So Stouffer's stovetop never existed. Didn't exist in this reality. It existed in the reality I came from because I used it. Oh my God, I used it a lot. You know, it was a box of stuffing. Now they have now they have Kraft stovetop stuffing. But it used to be Stouffer stovetop stuffing, but Kraft is saying that Stouffer's never existed. Kraft has had this stovetop stuffing the whole time. It's like bullshit. The evidence is all around us that we're completely changing realities and realms, and I don't know how much of it has to do with CERN. I don't know how much of it is just like, you know, if you took all of these realities, because we're surrounded by lots of different realms and realities and stuff, and it's like CERN just keeps busting a hole through them all and just scattering them, and all of us in these different realities keep going and merging into these other ones or something. It's mental. It's so hard to understand, but that is that is the Alice going down the rabbit hole thing, is these other realms. And when you talk about like the Earth, you know, in the North and South Pole, and when you start seeing like you have this North and South Pole inside of you, and it is all in this swirling motion. It just like the Earth is in this swirling motion. Everything in nature is in this motion. And, you know, I mean, it's weird because in this reality, we have nature mixed with this other created reality. It's just so weird. It is so much like your soul has gone on a road trip and it got stuck in the desert at this really rankety ass gas station, and then the whole world has ceased to exist except for what's in this gas station, because they told you everything's gone except for what's right here. And you know, what are we gonna do? We gotta just focus on this world as this gas station. That's what it's like, because the whole reality is so much bigger than just this little gas station that we're stuck in. But so the Alice going down the rabbit hole is, you know, in this video, this documentary series thing, this 8-hour one, what happened on Earth, and it's talking so much about the flat Earth and the maps and a lot of interesting stuff. But there's this part of these old texts and stuff, like it's older books or whatever. But you know, it's at the pole, and it would have been like it seems like it was like in the 1400s or something. Some of the expedition people. Sorry, she's snoring so loud. They went, and it was some that they would say, like, you could go down the center of the Earth. You could go into different realms, into different realities. And, you know, CERN's trying to do that right now. And it's something with the Rainbow Bridge connecting you to these other realms. But everything is just, you know, this it is a multiverse. They want to turn it into this, they want to turn it into just keeping your mind trapped, because they know it's your consciousness, but keep your consciousness trapped on a screen, so you're just focused on that screen, and that is the reality that they're feeding you. But all those realities exist out there when you pull free from their system. When you leave the gas station and you go out into the desert and you start looking around, you will find that there is all sorts of things out there. You know, there's a whole world outside of there. But, you know, it takes something to get over your fear, because they're telling you that there's nothing there and you have to go out. You have to take the chance that, people are going to laugh at you and call you names and think you're crazy and think you're stupid. But when you go out and you start finding out, there's beings all around me, there's a whole world around me, there's communication happening that I was unaware of. And so the Alice in the rabbit holes, when they were talking about like the water going down in the North Pole, but it isn't just going down, it's being pulled. So see, there's a movement, there's a magnetic movement. So it's pulling down, and then it opens up into a whole nother world. And there's multiple worlds all around us. That's the idea where people come up with like, oh, aliens, they told you that they're scary monsters and they're out in the sky and we got to be careful. They might be here to kill us. We don't know. Why aren't they talking to us? Well, they're talking to them. They're talking to them all the time. They're lying to us and to keep us scared, because this is the same concept as the movie The Village. That's what they do. They use the fear to keep you compliant, to keep you not looking into things, they're looking into it for you. They'll let you know what you need to know. Okay. I don't need my controlled information to come from the government. Thank you very much. So, but when you go in there, whatever this was showing, it was like Alice was looking down. It might have been a CERN thing or something, but Alice was looking down in that hole where the water was going, leading down to the other realities. And it was like the rabbit hole is actually just opening your mind to all that is, everything that's out there. Letting your mind, because your mind is a part of your conscious being, is being controlled by your mind, like your ego and stuff. There's a lot of information in here that is controlling your experience. But when you can let go of all of those things, like Alice, and just tumble down into the rabbit hole, everything opens up to you. Everything starts. And, everything may not make sense for a while. You may just develop more questions and more questions. But eventually, the questions start answering themselves. Like I said, the more you look into stuff, the more you start seeing, especially to me, don't just what I've talked about before. People get stuck on just looking at the one thing. Like somebody who is into flat earth, they're just stuck on the flat earth. They're just flat earth. We've got to get everybody to believe the flat earth. And then you have people who are, stuck on like the chakras and the kundalini, and they're just telling you about that all the time. Just focus on that, and your affirmations and vibration. And you have people who are stuck on, government and what's going on with all of the corruption and stuff. But all of these different people are just stuck on their one subject, their one topic. And what I'm saying is, go out, leave that one, and go out and start going into all the different ones. Once you leave one, and you start going into the next one, and the next one, and the next one, you go into all these different things that different people are talking about, you start seeing they all layer on top of each other. All the answers are out there. They just layer and layer and layer. And when you layer, like I said before, you layer something, you have these cross paths. Like the information starts being like, oh, this crosses with this, and this means that, and it keeps building and building. I'm telling you, I can see through what the hell. Like I have peace over what is going on. Like I understand it on a level that gives me peace. So that is, I know that a lot of people struggle. Everybody's looking for these answers. Everybody's trying to understand, what is this place and why are they lying to us and what's going on here, and are they trying to kill us? Is the earth trying to kill us, or is the government trying to kill us? Like, what's happening? And you'll start seeing, the more you look into stuff, you start having such a deep understanding that it gives you peace. You can't change it. You can't do anything. You can detach from it. You can remove yourself from their system. You can quit feeding into their fear-mongering reality, where they use you as, because there is beings around us that that this is kind of like, I think, why this kind of became hell, because the entities that they feed from our energy, because they are taking energy from you by keeping you scared, keeping you in fear and stuff. It's a certain energy that you put out, and that feeds this other energy that is at that vibration. They live off of that. What you're putting out, they take in. And this is so much of the low vibration, low density energy. Like I've said before, it's kind of like sludge energy. It's just kind of like, ugh. And it's all like, it's all heavy, gross energy. It always has to do with fear and stuff. It is the monsters, what you would consider. It is the demons, the devils, the beasts, or this low energy sludge that feeds off of us. And they do this on purpose because they have deals with it. That's how this whole place became like hell. They're feeding those entities to make this dark energy more able to suck onto us and to tear us down because it feeds them more. So it's like the Blob. There was a movie when I was a little kid. It traumatized me. But it really is so true about so many things. So many things develop their own energy. But like that movie, The Blob, was this blob. And it was really just a blob. It looked kind of like a moving bubble that was plasma and, looked like a star. It came down and went on the earth, and it started moving around and collecting people into its blob. But so it started building up to its own. It got bigger and bigger and bigger by feeding off of other people. And it wasn't just feeding off of them energetically, but if you think of it on that level, that blob is all around us. We walk through it. It's, you're having a bad day and your day gets worse. It's because that blob is attached to you. It's going on with you. And that's why I said, that's where ceremonies and clearings and stuff have great purpose. But you have to have discernment. You have to realize, you have to start noticing, what is this communication going on? What are they telling me? Is it to build me up, or is it to make me feel worse? Is it to tear me down? And I'm not saying like you don't ever want to feel bad, because there's certain things in this period of time where you're growing that you're going to feel bad. And I'm not saying that, but the thing is you move through it. Don't get stuck. If you get stuck, it's because they're holding you there and they're just feeding off of you. Like, it's really gross. Like, if you get it in your head, like this energy blob is just like feeding off of you when you feel bad. That is what's happening here. And so, yeah, just like kick it off and, burn some sage or incense or something, change the density of the air. And, do your affirmations. Remind yourself you're a powerful entity. You are a powerful entity. There's powerful entities all around us, but they are not more powerful than you. You just don't recognize your power. You don't recognize who and what you are. So once you do, then you realize, like, fuck off. Like, that's what I do when I feel them and they're there. Sometimes you don't notice. They're just like, it's very subtle once I start saying. And then all of a sudden I'll be like, wait a minute. This is some negative shit. I'll fuck off. That's what I'll do. I'll tell them, fuck off. Get the fuck away from me. I don't need your shit. So everybody has their own way of dealing with this blob entity that has grown and grown and grown, because the evil beings up here have made the contracts to feed them by traumatizing us. And, they do fucking rituals and sacrifices. Like this shit is crazy. So, yeah, you just be aware of all of these things, and be aware of, going into the desert, so you can start understanding the rest of this realities that are out there. You gotta leave that freaking gas station. Go on the desert, no matter if it looks like, it's miles. I don't even see any place so far ahead. Just keep going. And everything will start falling into place. The first thing is just to leave that gas station, and go out and search for the truth. But yeah, the whole thing is it all starts coming together. Everything starts making sense. Like, I may not be able to say it all to make it make sense to you, but I don't think that that's what I'm here to do. I think I'm only here to tell you that there's tons of information out there. You can make things make sense to yourself, but you got to go out and look. You don't want to look for things where people are saying, oh, this, no, no, no. Those people are the ones who are stuck. They don't want to look into anything. They don't want to understand this world on a more complex perception. They just want to be told what this reality is, and they want everybody else to be compliant. So don't listen to those people. They're stuck. They haven't yet. It hadn't clicked in yet. So, but I think my main thing is, because there's so much going on it's about the healing, and it all has to do with the healing, with this reality, with your consciousness, with your abilities, with understanding yourself. Like, it all goes in together. But I don't think I'm here to try and get, flat earth, and I'm going to present you with all of this, that's not what I'm about. Or, arguing about who's president, or arguing about any of the stuff. What the main thing is all of those things. Once you see them, once you understand them, there's more information. You can just keep on looking, but you will find peace in yourself. And that is part of the process of healing, is finding your inner peace. And, there's just so much out there to tell you who and what you are that is hidden from you. So, just stay out there in the desert looking. Refuse to go back into the gas station, because eventually something's going to be before you, and it's going to start making sense. And your rabbit trail, your breadcrumbs, they'll start coming when you put that out there to the universe. Give me what I need to know. Give me signs. Give me information. Bring it to me, what I need to know. Put it out there, what you want to know. Like, I want to know more of who I am. I want to know what this place is. Put it out there, and they will bring you the information. Just open yourself up to that information. Have a great day. Talk to you later.